Hey y'all, welcome to another video. My name's Chase. This is my garage. Behind me is my 1979 Oldsmobile Custom Cruiser station wagon that I'm putting that Duramax diesel in. If you haven't already, go watch the other videos I have on this series. Today I have behind me my ladder because I got to get down my fuel tank. That's a brand new fuel tank. Above me is the car's original tank. We're gonna have to see about getting that down. I have to take the fuel filler neck off of it because they don't put a new neck on the new tank. Let's get started. There's the new tank next to the old tank. There's the tank part number for anybody that doesn't know how to use Google. Comes with the lock ring and gasket. Next, I'll see about getting the old sending unit out first, I guess. Take a peek in there, see if anything's going on in there. Good old hammer and screwdriver. Got the lock ring off. I can only imagine that's been on there for a million years. This is the first look. Smells great. I don't know. I'd say that's fairly clean for being in there that long, if that's the original unit. The sock's still on there and not really ripped up or anything. Get a light shine in here. Not too bad. I guess there is some stuff in there, but it doesn't look like dirt or chunks of anything. It just looks like it might be rusting from moisture. But we're not using that anyways. We're going to use a new tank. Alright, so new discovery. So the backs of these tanks have a baffle that kind of make like a big U shape around the backside, which is great. That's what we want. What I did not know, the filler neck goes in, and actually the filler neck continues in the tank, and I already tried to record it. I can't get a light in there to show the camera, but the filler neck goes into that baffle. So I guess that's pressed in. Has to be, because it's not welded at the end. But that just kind of threw off my plan for that. I already found a new filler neck on eBay. I can get that in a couple days. I have a new sending unit and fuel tank straps on the way from Rock Auto. I also have to figure out what I'm going to use to paint the tank, just to give it a little extra protection. And I don't think the straps have an anti-vibration foam on them, so I might see about figuring out what to use for that. Obviously something that's not going to hold moisture, so it ends up like this again. One neat thing though, when I did drop this tank while the car was still in the storage unit, once it got down, on the top side of the tank here was the car's original build sheet. I'll put a picture of that on the screen somewhere here. It's pretty neat because there's still some things that are legible on there, and I took the picture and I sent it to an AI, and it deciphered a little bit more of what's on there. Pretty neat, so I could see some of the car's RPO options and that kind of stuff. Alright, here we are 2 days later. Fuel filler neck just showed up. Box from Rock Auto just showed up. I got new tank straps and a sending unit. Probably open that up and see if that matches roughly to what I got now. I guess this is gonna work, is if I put it up kind of roughly to where those rib pieces are. The bends are about the same. It's got the same little indent there. The new one doesn't have a little tab, but I guess I could cut that off or weld a new one on. So I assume that's the right thing. You can see that's how much pipe is going inside the tank there. I still got to figure out how that 100% goes in. I guess if I can get this in to the correct position, I can just weld around it if I need to. The one thing I don't like about the new filler neck is it's got the emissions flap in it. And I'm not sure, 'cause I don't hardly ever fill up diesel, but I'm pretty sure the diesel nozzle is bigger than the gas nozzle. So I might have to open this up a little bit so the nozzle fits down in there. Not sure if this is gonna work, but I might have to make it work because I don't recall seeing anything that was very similar to what I pulled out. Now I don't know if that's just because of how old it is or if this is some type of new emission compliant whatever like other stuff is now, but if I angle the float, you can see the lines go off one way on this new one, the lines go off the other way on this one. I guess I won't really know until I put it in the tank to see if it's going to be a problem with where the lines go to. But if I do end up using this, that's fine. I'll have the 3/8 line with the sock on it as my main pickup tube. I'll have that little, I guess it's a 1/4 inch line in the middle as my return, and then I have the vent line there. I know this is overkill, but I got this neoprene sticky back rubber that I'm gonna use, I guess, to wrap around the fuel tank for the straps to sit on and for a little bit of buffer between it and the floor. I figured the new straps don't have anything on it. I'm definitely not gonna be able to save the foam kind of padding that are on the old ones. Some more goodies showed up in the mail. My wiring harness is back from standaloneharness.com. We'll open that here in a minute. First, we're gonna look inside the sending unit that I got from Rock Auto. I already shipped the other one back. This one just showed up now. It had bubble wrap on top and nice and loose in the box underneath. Very good. And we're gonna see if this looks anything like our other one that we took out originally. Let me put this on a stand. So the lines are bent the correct way this time. Yes, the new one has 3 lines instead of the 2, but whatever. And it looks like the floats are orientated same way. And the tabs on the top look good. It's got spots for the ground. I think we can make that work. I think what's going to be nice, even though I don't need all 3 of these tubes, one being a breather, I do have a return line now though that I can utilize, so that should be good. I'll probably end up adding a little rubber hose or something down there so it doesn't just spray on the sending unit when it's in the tank. Of course, this sending unit was 3 times more than the first one I got that said it was supposed to fit, but whatever, you learn. Gotta get what you gotta get. here's the wiring harnesses laid out. Over on this side, you got the upper harness, so everything for the injectors, all nice and cleaned up, fresh convoluted tubing. I guess whatever wires needed taken out were taken out. Everything's taped up real nice, clean, and you got the rest of the main harness. Everything's labeled. There's a little tag on everything so we know what's what. That's mass airflow sensor, alternator 1. All the plugs look good. Computer side, I guess once it comes time to actually place things, I might tape up some of these wires some more. Then a new relay fuse box that runs everything. And that's, I guess, what makes it stand alone. Play on words. Take the cap off. It looks like we got six fuses and 2 relays now. And we're controlling the P&P engine, MAF, ignition, injectors, battery, injector relay, ignition relay. Pretty simple, nice and clean. There should be enough of that hanging off so I can get that out of the way from the heat, hopefully. I just put the tank up under here. Got the filler neck through the hole. That lines up for what I need it to do. Down below, just got the jack holding it up right now. Got it lined up with the pieces in the frame rail that have a mark on the tank so you know where everything's supposed to go. Gonna get me a Sharpie here in a minute, make some lines on the filler neck so I know where to have it lined up at to weld. I think that's just plastic. It hits a little bit on this plastic, but that shouldn't be an issue. And I might not even have this all the way in the right spot, but it's very close, and that should be fine for the angle of the filler neck. We can get that welded up. Tank's out, marks are made. Before I start welding that, I'm going to take this neck back out. As I mentioned earlier, this is a standard gas filler size, which I believe is 13/16. So the diesel nozzle wouldn't fit down in there. Diesel nozzle's like 15/16, I think, from what I've read. So this new filler neck, I'm just gonna cut out all the inside and just have it open like how the original one was. Just open. So that way it's just easier to do. Don't have to worry about measuring this or that or whatever. It's dark outside now, so this isn't very good, but I opened up that. I was just gonna cut it out, but I ended up just using the Christmas tree step bit. Opened it up, it's a little over 1 inch. I just verified that. I took a 13/16 socket of mine and took my calipers and measured the outer diameter, which is 1.019 inches for anybody that cares. And that fits in there good. Can't do that with one hand. So I know that's a hair over 1 inch in diameter, which is good for the diesel pump. Filler necks welded onto the tank now. Get that burned around. The back gave me a little bit of issue because I didn't have a lot of space to get the TIG torch in there, but I made it work. and I pressure checked it. This Gorilla Tape's pretty tough. I kept that tape down. Then I took the air gun. I put the nozzle down in there. The tank expanded. That had soapy water around it. Didn't see any bubbles, so that should be sealed. I ended up taking this up to my buddy's shop to weld it because I started up my welder, my TIG over here. It's a Yes Welder TIG 200P AC/DC Pro. I got this and the MIG welder. I got everything in the way. I got their MIG welder, the YWM 160. That's what I've primarily been using for this project. I got those around Black Friday this last year. They've been fantastic. As I mentioned in my first video, I don't have a lot of time with the MIG welder, so I've spent a lot of this time using the MIG just for practice because it's at home and convenient and I don't have to go anywhere. So I've gotten that pretty dialed in, and honestly I haven't even started this TIG but a handful of times since I got it. So still trying to get it dialed in, get the settings dialed in. Most of my testing has been on thicker material, so I wasn't really afraid of turning amperage up too high, this or that, or setting the frequencies, whatever. Well, with the gas tank being thinner, I didn't want to sit here and try to fill holes all day, so I just took it to my buddy's shop and used the machine I was comfortable with. If you watched my first video, I had mentioned the Lincoln square wave machine. I took a picture of it while I was there so I could put it on the screen. It's a fantastic machine. That's the TIG welder I've learned on, and that's what I've come to get used to, but every machine's different, so I couldn't just transfer everything from that to this. I can't put the same settings. Once I get it dialed in, I'll feel a little more comfortable doing thinner stuff, but for right now, for something important like a fuel leak, I'd rather use the machine I'm comfortable with. So the next thing, I guess I didn't really have to paint this because it's galvanized. I shouldn't have to paint it, but because I welded around it, that area's probably going to need painted anyways. I'm just going to do a little scuff over everything. I have a can of primer. I'll just put a small layer on that. Then I have a can of Rust-Oleum that it's already open. I'll just kind of brush over it. Do half of it tonight, let it dry, flip it over. Then I guess I'll do the other half tomorrow. So I had the tank sitting on the bench out here and I started doing a quick primer coat. And of course it started raining after I got everything on there, so there's little water drops on the backside here. It's whatever. I got a quick sloppy coat on everything. Then once that dries tomorrow, I'll see about brushing on this Rust-Oleum. That was free. Free is free. It's gonna be fine. I don't really care. It's not gonna look bad. And if you're that close to my car, you're probably too close to my car, get away, to notice that. And you probably shouldn't be under it either. Yeah. It's the next day. Primer's dry. For a rattle can job, that's not too bad. Like I said, if you're looking at it that close, you're too close. I guess I did miss a spot. I gotta do that real quick. Then we're gonna brush on that Rust-Oleum. This is absolutely ridiculous. I shouldn't have painted this. And I'm not admitting that you were right. You know who you are. This stuff's just too thick. But whatever. No one's gonna see it. Just the whole internet and me at this moment. But it's like 30 degrees outside, and I know this isn't gonna dry fast enough for me to flip it over and get the bottom half. So before I put that in the garage, let it dry overnight and day, get home from work tomorrow, and I'll paint the bottom side. I haven't mentioned it before, but you've probably seen it in the back of a video clip or two. I daily drive a 91 Chevy Astro. She's rough, but she gets me where she goes. It's an old conversion van. The seats are probably the comfiest thing you'll ever sit in. And then today, I just picked up another project. So I'm sure we'll have content on that in the future. That's an 85 Z28 5-speed manual with T-tops. It's rough, but I plan on daily driving that eventually. And then the Camaro's still the race car, and we got a wagon. The wagon will tow the Camaro. The Astro's my everyday beater and truck essentially. That'll be my cruiser. Night number 2, backside's done. Gonna let this dry overnight. It warmed up to about 60 degrees tonight. Last night was 30 degrees. I'm not gonna put it in the car just yet. I got some other things I still need to do before it gets in there. But I'll know this is done, out of the way. I have a gas cap, diesel cap somewhere in the car for it. So everything will be sealed. I'll put some little caps on the lines so nothing gets in there in the meantime. And it's the last day on this. I couldn't find the new cap that I had bought. This is what was on the vehicle when I purchased it. Obviously it's not the original one because I don't think the original was a locking one. Had these keys on it. I don't know what all the other ones are. At least 2 of them I think are for this. I have to figure out what the third key's for. When I say it was an old man car, I mean he had a little leather pouch. I guess that was the thing though. It might not have been an old man, but I have my suspicions. Then I found, I'm not gonna keep this, but found old literature, old newspaper or ad piece. I just think it's pretty neat. This one looks like it's beautiful basics. Stuff for your home. It's got towels and curtains and toilet seat covers and bedspreads, and well, I guess this ages itself. This is for a water bed. There's drapes on the back here, outdoor summer furniture covers. Pretty neat. I enjoy some old literature, but I don't need to keep this. So we're just gonna leave that on there for now until I find the new one I bought. I know I got it somewhere because that old one was sitting in the new box. So off camera, you guys know what paint looks like. I'll finish touching that up, and then this will get put to the side. I'll do the rubber straps off camera because we'll see those again in the future. So to end this video off, I guess I'm gonna ask for suggestions because I will be needing a lift pump of some sorts for this system. I am not planning on doing anything crazy with this engine at the moment. The computers are out being tuned right now at dmaxswap.com. I don't know when those are coming back yet, but I did go ahead and opt the extra little bit of money for them to do the on-the-spot 5-stage tuning thing. So I guess level 1 is like plus 20 horse, Level 2 is 30 to 40. 3 is bumps up to 50 or 60 extra. Level 4 is close to 80 or 100 or something. And then level 5 is supposed to be up to like 150 plus with light modification. There's a turkey crossing my road. I have not seen that ever. Anyways, so with light modifications, which at the moment this thing is staying stock, so I need at least a lift pump that can handle, let's just say, an extra 100 horse comfortably. I'm up for suggestions. I haven't got dead set on anything yet. I know the FASS fuel system is very common for a lot of people and a lot of jobs and swaps. I know it's convenient to have that extra fuel filter right there at the pump, and I'll keep that in consideration. I do have lots of space. Well, I say lots of space, but as of right now I have a good amount of space up underneath the back on the sides of the tank, or maybe a little bit behind, where I could mount a pump system. I don't think I want to do anything crazy like multi-stage 3, 4, 5 filters. I think that's a little overkill for what I'm doing. Even 2 filters might be. I know diesels benefit from having like the water separator and the filter, but 2 filters, whatever I need to do, I'll see about doing it. I'm taking my time with these now. I'm at a spot where I don't want to rush things. I want to make things the right way first, and I don't want to just rush videos, even though this is more so a vlog for me to keep documentation on all this. I'd still like it to be a little entertaining. So thanks for watching. See you in the next one.